So every week I show you one of my harvest tables of mostly fresh produce with a few little bits and pieces that we've taken from the store just as examples. So today I thought I'd just show you around everything that we've got left in the store on the 30th of January. And yeah, it's not a lot to be honest, but hopefully it'll be enough to kind of just about get us through until May, when hopefully we'll have loads and loads of replacement produce. And I'll also show you towards the end where we store all the different things and some of the challenges that we've got with storing those things. Anyway, let's get on and have a look at what we have in store. So I've just been going through our store and I've just brought everything inside just to take a good look at it. So these are the onions that we've got left, and we don't really normally have good quality onions for cooking, apart from just like salad onions, until May. And so these have got to last us till May. I'll put up on the screen actually how many that means we can eat each week. And these are the Yacon, and these are in pretty good condition, reasonable. Sometimes they get like a bit of a bloom of mould on them, like just a white bloom. Not quite sure, whether there's a good way of dealing with that. Just keep them reasonably well ventilated, but not too well ventilated, because otherwise they just go soft and dry up and shrivel up, basically. So they need to be kept reasonably damp, but not too damp, which is always tricky. And so these are the shallots. And again, we won't have onions until May, so these have got to last us as well. And these are the squash, and the first squash we tend to have are sort of towards the middle of May, and those will be courgettes in the polytunnel. Sometimes we have them at the end of May, so it depends on the year. So just these few squash, these have got to last us all the way through until at least May, let's say. So yeah, we've got those as well. And we're going to do a better job, I think, of squash next year. But anyway, that's what we've got. And, obviously we've got, actually not obviously, but we have got a bit in the freezer as well. And then this is the garlic, again, that we've got to last us until the green garlic's ready. And the green garlic tends to be ready, again, about May. So, everything kind of has to last really until May. And obviously we have a huge amount of fresh food. I'll just put up this week's harvest so you can see sort of the amount of fresh food, and obviously we have that kind of every week of the year. So this is the stuff basically that needs to kind of complement the fresh food that we're picking. And we've got loads of beetroot as well. So you can see the beetroot there in those 5 tubs. And again, that needs to last until about May. I've just planted my first beetroot out in the polytunnel today, actually. And we'll get, fairly small beetroots in May, but then obviously they'll just get bigger and bigger as they progress through spring. And I've got quite a lot of potatoes. I think I've got 8 tubs of potatoes still to be harvested. And again, they've got to last until about May. And of course we've got loads of food in the freezer, lots of fruit in the freezer, but we've still got apples in the store, which are not suitable for eating fresh, but they're okay for cooking. And we've got loads of dried apples and loads of dried pears, but then loads and loads of berries and apple purees and things like that in the store, as well as a nice selection of chutneys and purees and vinegars and passatas and things like that in there. More passatas, and mincemeat and chutneys and pickles, all that sort of thing. So the squash and the garlic is kept in the house on this little rack here in an unheated bedroom, and the squash is cured first in the conservatory, but it's too warm in there now. And the onions and shallots are kept in an unheated shed, which does get a bit too cold sometimes, and it definitely gets a bit too damp, so we kind of just have a little fan above them that comes on for a couple of hours a day. It's on a timer, and since we've had that, we've had dramatically reduced losses from moulds. Beetroot is kept in damp wood chips, not too damp, and every month or so I just put a bit more water on the top of them just to keep them damp. Yacon just normally goes on the shelf with the beetroot, but I'm just going to put it here with the onions for a few days, and I'm going to put the fan on to see if I can just dry it out a little bit, as I said, because of that little bit of a bloom that we've got. But I don't think I could leave it out like this all the time, because I think it would just just shrivel up. So I hope you like this quick video. If you want more details of how we store things, then look up the individual growing guides in my ebook, and there's a section in the applicable growing guides for how we store produce. My name's Steve. This is the Seaside Kitchen Garden and Allotment channel, and I'll see you soon.